IVM.
Sometimes it feels like all the weight of the world has fallen onto my shoulders, and it usually happens on my downtime while I'm enjoying a nice game of cricket. It's like my family realizes that I'm watching cricket and they just rush to ruin it for me then. My mom will come in ranting about some problem with the neighbors. My wife will come in shouting about how we need to redo our kitchen, plus also some problem with the neighbors. And my daughter will come in angry at me because the color of the new car we bought is not what she had wanted, which is apparently the biggest crime a father can commit. Plus, of course, some problem with the neighbors. If only things could be just the same, even if something were to happen to me. Unless www.hdfclife.com, select, done. Things aren't so bad after all. Live calm. With HDFC Life, click to protect life. The Life Protect option protects your family from financial uncertainty. Visit hdfclife.com to know more and for terms and conditions. कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen yaar, don't be so conservative. Okay, sorry, just checking. Is it over, the music? Just want to make sure, it's gone, so now it's safe for me to talk. Sorry, folks, but this is a very bureaucratic process, this podcast. It involves too many people. Music is handled by another department altogether. It's like back in the day when you wanted your file passed somewhere in government, you'd go to 7 counters. It's like that. I have no hand in the music that plays. I don't even know if you can hear the music that plays, but I can. And it's not been easy for me. I've aged about 3 years in the last 6 episodes or podcasts or whatever the hell it's called. Anyway, it's Cock and Bull. In case you're just waking up, it's Cock and Bull because I know a lot of people watch this in countries way behind India. If there is such a thing. And so this show is dedicated to taking out the trash. Literally, we take out all the trash that's out there and we discuss it. But before that, something happened today. I need the confirmation from other people whether this was the right or wrong thing to do. I'm sure you all go through this at some point. Those of you who still walk. So when you walk, you notice very often you're walking in a public place or area and somebody's in the path, in the exact path. I mean, like exactly in your path. You see it in your periphery, they see it too. And then what happens sometimes, if there isn't that much space, egos take over and nobody wants to actually move out of the path. It's just like a judgment call that happens. It happens with me quite a few times, sadly. And now the path outside the house, one path is being dug up. So there's really just about enough space for a trapeze artist anyway. Anyway, so me and this gentleman, we came at cross purposes, about 10 feet apart like gunslingers, and then literally came closer and closer and closer. And then for some reason, neither of us wanted to move. So at the end, it involved a little bit of shoulder argy-bargy as you sort of passed each other. And I must say, being petty, petulant and silly, I did smack him with my right shoulder as hard as I could. And then obviously didn't look back. It's a worse version of sledging. But then I was thinking about this. Is this a big ego thing amongst males more importantly? Or what is the problem? Why does this happen? It happens quite often. And I've seen it with other people too. Even when there's space. I've seen it in airports. So many times people sort of bang into each other even when there's space and they can circumvent each other. There's a point. And there must be a mathematical point where you realize that now I have to stand my ground. If it's 30 feet apart, fine. Maybe 20, 25, okay. But at 15 or 18 feet, somewhere there's a mathematical point where, boom, we have to decide that now it's a gunslinging contest and we have to, someone else has to blink. Whoever blinks loses. It's like that.
Have you ever wondered where the business world is headed? How the ways in which we create, market, and sell to consumers will evolve? Or if we'll ever go back to wearing pants while working? For answers to all of this and more, tune into Advertising is Dead with me, Varun Dugirala. Every Tuesday, as I talk to entrepreneurs, leaders, and change makers from across business, media, marketing, and beyond. You can catch all episodes of Advertising is Dead on the IBM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcast from.
There are experts on this topic, 2 people with no jobs and have no interest in the world other than stupid things like this. And that is Amit Doshi and Silverie, who will appear magically on the screen right now.
Hello.
Hello. Another true story, boys. Another true story. It's unbelievable what things happen to you in the normal course of a day where nothing really eventful happened at all. But now tell me, haven't you been through this?
Remember the story, right? Remember the story of old was that the goat and man are trying. So the 2 goats are trying to cross the bridge, and they keep
Are you,
butting heads,
is this going
right?
to be a lesson for me? Is this going to be like, should I take down notes? I suddenly feel you're talking down in some strange way, a metaphorical lesson. Oh,
Yeah,
moron,
correct.
two goats were
Next
here.
was a
Okay, go
goat
on,
and
go on.
a goat and a man, and the man let the goat pass. But if the
Yeah.
story had mentioned what would happen if two men were to meet, you would have gotten the answer. But the story never mentioned that. That's the fault
Wow.
of the story and not your fault, Cyrus.
You upset me because now I know that if I have a goat in my path, but the right thing to do would be
Yeah,
for me to move.
is
But
yeah.
I had
No, the
a
man
much
you don't
worse
know.
monster, an Indian
Yeah,
male, okay, who was and I don't look. I'm telling you honestly, just when this happens, it just becomes territorial and it's stupid, and you regret it the moment it passes. But it's really stupid, and I don't know why it happens. But it happens all the time. I watch it all the time. People don't want to give way. There's a point. They do give way if they're far enough
yeah,
away so their ego doesn't get bruised. The moment they with men, it's like suddenly I have to. And this time, the path that I was on, really, there's no place. So there's no option. There are cars. Let me
and
explain. There's a
I
footpath dug up on one side, building car side, and cars parked on the road car side. So in the middle, you're looking at about 2 feet wide, right? So you have to
yeah,
literally, it's like Indigo Airlines. If you were serving there, all of them are sideways swipers, right? They can't go frontal. They have to go sideways. I mean, it's so sad. That's your life, serving sideways. You can't
yeah.
even serve frontal because it's so small. But yeah, so here's the issue.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'm such a beta that I always by default let the other person go. It's just the way I am.
No,
I don't think that's an alpha beta thing. Honestly,
it's
I feel like I'm a very polite pedestrian as long as I'm
Okay.
not going through super crowded areas, but I'm an extremely rude driver. I just drove back from office right now, cut
Ah.
off 8 people, got so mad at somebody. How dare you cut in front of me? What the fuck you think you are? You think I'm an idiot or what? That
Hmm.
all this is going through
he
my head.
never drove a car, but I get what you're saying. But I mean, this is amazing. This makes me happy. This warms the cockles of my heart when somebody tells me they're frustrated about driving. I had this female friend once who drove only in her late 30s, and she used to ask me why do I abuse, etc., etc., etc. And the day she drove, she showed me so much respect. She looked at me like we had such a commonality. Just like you found your sister or brother after years in the market, wandering alone, and that empathy level is only for the new driver one, because Amit has taken a break from driving and then he comes back.
Yes.
Yeah, but let's not circumvent to driving. Let's go back to where we
No,
were.
but I am a polite pedestrian. I'm generally like,
You're
yeah,
also
please
the
go. No.
huge, for those who can't make out, he's huge. He's a big man, let's say. So most probably that it would intimidate, let's say, the average Indian male, and that guy would
That's
probably give you away. Okay, that's one.
Okay.
And two is,
fairly possible.
I'm talking on the public roads, all right.
Other person was similar size to you, Cyrus, or like bigger than you, smaller than
He
you?
was actually he was taller than me, but smaller, thinner. But there was no eye contact made. Now he just kept on going on his path, and I kept on going on my path, and then we sort of reached, and then we had to brush shoulders. And then I thought he was also quite arrogant about it. He didn't even try to move. He didn't even sidestep. He was like, yeah, I'm walking, you're walking, whoever's walking,
Yeah,
walking. The
exactly. I
government is
think the
empowered
assumption
poor.
is,
This government is trying to empower
yeah,
poor people. Don't go by the budget. This is what happens.
yeah.
Keep them down, I say. Keep them down. Just kidding. Just kidding, guys. Just a
I think
joke.
each of you in your head maybe were thinking that the other person will stop before I have to, and so you just kept going, right? I think that's what would have happened.
I don't know. I'm convinced there's a
It just never
point where
happened.
it's just too late. So all
Do
this
do
has to be
you
Okay,
fight or
like
flight. You have to back off at the right time, and otherwise you can't back off even if you want to back off. You know what I'm saying? You're pulled by your ego for the last
do
few
you hold
feet.
the door open when people are coming to, like, let's say you're about to reach
I
a
do. I
mall,
do. I
or
do.
do you wait for the
I do.
person behind you? How long is that? How long is
No,
that
no,
wait?
not if it's ridiculously long, but 2, 3, 4 seconds, definitely.
Three
Always for
steps.
ladies. I'm a
Yeah.
ladies' man. Always for the ladies. For ladies, I'll hold it longer. And what I
Okay.
love to do, because 80% of ladies, middle class women that I hold doors for, they turn around and never say anything. So I always say you're welcome, and I still get no response. So I'm a failed comedian in every way. I mean, this is just general life. Yeah, but yeah, I open. But
yes.
that my parents taught me when I was young, opening doors and
No,
all
so
that.
why is that different? Why is your reaction different to door opening as opposed to?
That's they're it's a direction issue here, bro. They're
No,
coming
but it's a
at you.
politeness and it's a time issue, right? That why are you not giving way? You're not giving way because you don't want to give your
This
time up for
chat
that
you're
guy's
having
time.
with yourself, you can have when you're sitting on the pot. But this is a matter of 5 or 6 seconds in which you've got to make a decision to move. See, the path didn't
No,
allow
but
me to get
it's
off.
isn't psych.
I had to literally stop. That was the only way to let him pass. I mean, if
But
I was going to
psych.
be very civil about it.
Huh. No, no,
Yeah.
but Cyrus, psychologically, what's going on in your mind, right, is that my time. I'm not. Why should I waste time for this guy, right? That's what's going through your mind. Why should I give way? Is why should I waste time?
Let's say we're both impatient personalities, so you don't want to
Yeah,
stop. Okay, stopping is a big
correct,
issue with impatient personalities. So that's one
correct.
thing. So both sides
So
impatience.
then you're stopping to open doors for people.
But I do that with a lot of grudgingly. In my mind, I'm like,
Okay.
hurry up, you fat pig, and it's like that. But then I smile and hello, hello, Dilip uncle, all good, "ठीक है, fuck off." It's like that. But I do that. But one is trained
Okay.
to do that. No one trained us on the road. And what's happening is that lots more people now, the COVID, you may not realize is the pandemic has been forgotten, thank God. So lots of people are walking on the road. I've seen the difference. You've been abusing traffic. It's all the same
Oh,
thing. There are more people, there are more traffic, there's more
it is.
construction work, there's more digging. The great gift that we've been given in Mumbai.
There's more Lata Mangeshkar dying.
Oh, don't start me off.
Dude,
By the
it
way,
happened
Silverie,
again, no?
Amit sent me a
Yeah.
text. Here's empathy at its best. He must have been sitting there and grumbling away for an hour or so because, of course, what do? What an irony this is. Look, I mean, no disrespect. I'm a huge Lata fan. I'm going to preface that. I don't want a Munawar case situation with us. But there's such, I mean, is it poetic or what is it? I can't really understand. But the whole Pedder Road bridge being built or not being built, yesterday or day before, Amit was caught in traffic because they shut down Pedder Road because, it was day 3 or day 4 after the death. And
Yeah.
and the first thought that came to me was, if they only build the bridge, this thing wouldn't have
Would have gone
happened. I
over
mean,
it.
just look at that. I mean, that's just,
Yeah.
it's karmic. It's,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
So you know what's interesting about that, right? I mean, like yeah, you know me, I'm very pro development. I'm like, rip out all the trees and build some roads, make more buildings, figure out more water. I'm all about like urban development. I think urbanization is important,
just
right?
don't say rip out
But
all the trees. What you're saying is that, okay, fair. If you're going to urbanize, don't be a hypocrite. Urbanize. You can't have both ways.
rip out and replant. I'm not saying rip out and leave this, right? But oxygen is fungible, man. I mean, like, it doesn't matter where oxygen goes into the atmosphere from. It can go from your next to your house, or it can go from, like, 100 kilometers away. It's still going into the atmosphere. Who gives a shit, right?
Okay.
So I do believe that really this, but the idea that I started thinking about the Lata Mangeshkar flyover specifics.
And it doesn't make sense because only so much will go over at a time. Because hello, that great piece of genius is at Worli, just a little ahead.
Uh-huh.
You cross Haji
Yeah,
Ali and they've got that flyover. Wow! I know people who know South Mumbai will totally understand when we discuss this.
yeah.
That's a piece of genius because two cars go over that, and
Two
wow,
cars
they've solved
go
they've
over
solved the
that for
traffic
one
problem
signal,
for
essentially.
for one signal for 30 yards. Let's
Yeah.
just call it for what it is.
It's insane, right? But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
I don't understand. So I mean, like, at the time I was really pissed off. I think we did some episodes about this as well, right? Because I think this stuff happened when we first started doing the podcast,
Hmm.
and at that time I
Hmm.
must have ranted and raved. Oh, how dare they, like, uh, how
Sorry to cut in. Silvery
I'm
looks like
sorry.
he's
That's
still
cool.
processing fungible. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
Very
God.
funny comment, feral mind. Yes.
Yes.
But
Fair.
But
actually,
yeah, no.
the jokes on you, Amit. It's not really on
uh,
Silvery. It's because you and your bloody bombastic attitude to think that all of us use words like that. When you
Dude,
just say it,
fungible.
and there's a certain arrogance to that. You just
Fungible we use.
no, he drops it in
Yeah.
the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dross, and all the other words that we've discussed, and just drops it in the air like at a high tea with his
Hey, dude,
friends.
somebody on YouTube accused me of cheating. Huh? I gotta say, I'm like, it makes me happy. They said I was cheating while we were doing the thing.
Okay, let कृपया ध्यान दीजिए. For sure, none of the boys cheat in this stupid program of ours. They don't care enough to. So stop it.
I don't know.
What
Maybe Amit does.
superb
Maybe.
I
point,
know.
Shovik.
Maybe
Shovik
I
is saying
do.
Maybe. I don't know.
Shovik is saying Amit is wearing silvery shirt today. That is
Sure.
a good point. You have these what are they called? Flannel stripy things.
Well, no. So
This
these are not
check
flannels. These are
shirts.
just cotton checks.
Yeah.
Okay,
Flannel is
and
different. Like flannels are different material.
he's got a slightly more dapper, normal looking shirt. It looks
Uh,
like. Oh, by the way, Silvery, you're
Yep.
still in Hawaii. Okay.
Yeah. I'm still
Just
for
double checking.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Must be leakage and all that. You've got to look
No
after
photo
the
boy. Yeah.
family. And so Amit is not saying anything. He can't say anything as a proprietor during pandemic. He can make faces. He can pull his ear, but he can't say anything. He can't just do like, all right, yeah,
so
just forget.
let me put it this way, right? From next week onwards, we are encouraging everybody to start coming to
Yeah.
office, right?
Yeah.
Hosts as well for show recordings too, but
Yeah.
we are encouraging everybody to
Yeah,
start
but
coming to
please don't call the
office.
host in evening traffic. You know what you've gone through. That's ridiculous. That's painful.
That's fair.
No,
Okay, that's fine.
no
That's
one
fine.
should.
Evening we
Morning,
can
I'll be
figure,
there
right?
on time. But
Yeah.
I don't think you've seen the program where Silvery had to. We did cars. right?
Ah,
Just I think it was
Yeah,
yesterday. I
yeah,
hope
boys and
my
machines.
memory.
Yeah,
hmm.
Cars, Boys and Machines, yeah,
yeah,
with Siddharth, superb guy, Chaturvedi, and having
great.
great
Yeah,
fun. And then it slowly comes out. We're discussing Silverie's cars because I didn't know Silverie's a car guy and all that. So I said, Silverie,
I
Silverie said, I like to drive. Hence, I don't go to office because I have to drive everywhere. So which car do you drive? So I make fun of it. It's a Honda Jazz. Do you know what happens, Amit?
What?
So I said, because I feel bad for him. I said, why didn't you buy a better car? Because I thought it's like the family car. Or maybe they have two
Ah,
cars. They have six cars. Amit Doshi, six cars. This
in the
guy,
house?
yes, and fancy ones, from a Mercedes to Innova to whatever, they're all fancy. The Jazz is the least fancy car that
yeah,
he's got, which he's
that
got.
is
Okay.
yes,
But he
correct.
has an option of six cars. If
Yeah,
he, I mean, they all drive, but
Right.
I was
Okay.
taken aback. He pretends to be, like a struggling comedian and all, but he's a landed gentry, one of those zamindars. He's like Jim Sarb, who's not come on the show yet. Jim Sarb is a multi-billionaire. His father is an exporter, port trust, one of those things. I forget
Oh,
PTI,
okay.
whatever it's called. He's the head of that.
oh,
All right. He has lots of property. Grew up in Dubai. Went to American school.
oh,
His mother is a Pandol Art Gallery. Kind of
mm,
paintings they are
oh,
worth crores. A friend of mine carried 20 crores worth of their paintings in Dubai. He had to ferry it from one side to the other. So Jim Saab doesn't need the job. So instead of giving me and other struggling Parsis, the one time you get a Parsi character, 25 years, they go for the rich guy. They give another sort of like a Tata gets it. It's like ridiculous. So he's like that.
yeah.
Cut his salary and make sure that the underprivileged in your office get it, which is probably everybody else. Yeah. The poor Vinay. Vinay looks
I
like
hate
he needs
talking
a bit
about
of a
this stuff, man.
makeover. Let Vinay get a little bit more. So just to put it out there, you got six cars and you're
Yeah,
staying at home
I
and
mean,
working from home.
five.
It doesn't.
Let's be clear. It's five. It's not six. We used to have six,
It's
then we
six.
sold one.
We counted six. Don't you dare lie. You're lying. There's six. Oh, look at this guy. You can't get
Five.
embarrassed. Yeah, it's okay, bro. It's all right. You've got
I
this. Now we know
can't-
That's
that.
right, dude. Don't be embarrassed. Why should you be
Yeah,
embarrassed about the fact
you should
that
be
you come
proud.
from? Yeah.
Yeah, it's your
I mean,
father's
it's
who's done
fine,
his.
but
You've not earned the cars.
it feels like no, correct. But it feels like I don't know. I don't want to come across that. Oh, look at my riches and look at how much I'm showing off. I don't want to come across as that. That's
You
not
want to show up, don't buy
how
the
I feel
cars.
I
What
am.
the hell? You can hide cars.
Yeah,
You can hide diamonds and things like that, but cars? What are you going to say? It's not mine. I'm Uber. What are you going to say?
That's true. That's
Oh my
true.
God. That's true.
Oh well,
Prince and Saldana says, but he has 10 cup. Oh, yeah.
it's 10
What a
cup
beautiful.
holders.
Amit, you're not listening to the
This is
podcast
true, yeah. This
because
is true.
there are two levels in our
Great
podcast.
episode.
There's the level where the guest is
Okay.
talking and sometimes it's fun. And then there's a level of introspection that comes between all of us where some
Yeah.
people let out some holy truths. So apparently,
Okay.
you tell the story because it's really funny.
So basically, when we went to buy the Honda Jazz, right? It's a great
Ah.
car. There are two selling points of the car. Okay, that the salesman kept emphasizing. One was that the leg space is the same as the Honda City, only the boot
In
space is
front.
less.
Okay.
So that's great for a
Oh.
hatchback. Right? Leg space is like a
Right.
Honda City. It's great. And the second thing was that the car has 10 cup holders. 10 cup holders.
In
Like,
one
you
car?
would never need in one car in a hatchback. The car has 5 seats. It has 10 cup holders. And the salesman could not get over the fact that this car has 10 cup holders because he kept saying, ma'am, nahi, ma'am, aap dekhiye, aap giniye to.
My car has 2 cup holders.
Exactly.
Well, no, 10 cup holders. My car has
10
2.
cup holders. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it encourages alcoholism. You'll be like, sherry in the side.
Okay, you reminded me of something. In the brochure for the Honda Jazz, right? There are two cup holders which are right under the AC vent on the side of the door. So the intention is that it'll keep your drink kind of cold, right?
Okay.
In the brochure for Honda Jazz, there was a can in that cup holder that looks suspiciously like a beer can. Just saying, it did look like a beer
Interesting.
can was in that,
You know what it could
which
be?
they wouldn't do.
It could be
Yeah,
So
what?
the auto suggests
non-alcoholic
to
beer.
you, yeah, but he's right. But
Sorry, we
Yes.
got an advertising brief we were discussing today about non-alcoholic
Yeah,
beer.
non-alcoholic
More
beer.
discussion about non-alcoholic beer than I think anybody could ever have imagined.
but if
Like literally 20 minutes of discussion on
Yeah.
non-alcoholic beer.
and then everybody had a beer. But if
Yeah.
a beer advertiser comes on, would you accept alcohol advertisers?
we do
So
both,
we're
yeah.
trying to so until October this year, absolutely. Now we're trying to figure that out.
Why not?
So because we came under some OTT gambit. We came under some notification
still.
happened. Yeah, where podcast became part of the OTT.
ठीक है, Johnny Walker compact discs. Come on, that's fine. Johnny Walker compact disc. Some of them were ridiculous. The kind of surrogate, whatever you
101%,
call
yeah.
it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just. I mean, come on, really? One of the great names in booze, and then you're a compact disc, or you're a pen, or you're a cup holder. By the way, what's your cup size, Silverie?
6.
Small?
10.
Small but growing. That's what you got to say.
Oh, okay.
Because uh,
All right, cool.
it's
Yeah.
lit to see Silverie still be humble and do
Silvery.
what he's passionate about. Now, I can't get the sarcasm in this. I'm trying to figure it out. But I hope
I
it's.
think
It can't, I hope it's not a guy being genuine, man. That sounds like some male love here. They're coming your way, bro. He's all
No.
touched. Like that one lady who liked him. When we lost that one lady who wanted to get in touch with you, one chick. There was one girl, remember?
Yeah. No, there was, I guess,
listen, I'm sure that
yeah,
Antariksh has fans DMing him all the time.
No, but this was like a public one.
rarely so.
I know in
Okay.
private, then he has to tell us.
Very,
Now, how
very
we
rarely
found out?
so.
Hey, Amit, we just found out about the cars. Slowly found out more stuff. That he's
Okay.
actually a Raheja. He owns half of Powai. I mean, slowly it's all going to come out. Yeah. Why do you think he doesn't want to come to
Yeah,
work?
correct.
He doesn't really. He's Jim
I'm a
Saab.
Tata.
He's Jim Saab of podcast. He doesn't need the
Yeah.
job. I mean, Jim Saab is so
Yeah.
confident when he goes to an audition. He says, "Mujhe Hindi nahi aate hai." He says, "Oh, okay, ठीक है, sir, you got the job." But he's like that. It's cool to be rich, bro. Can you imagine things that frees you from? I mean, you go
Yeah.
to get your Aadhaar card, you say, forget it, the line is too long. I'm too rich, I don't care. It's over. Yeah, that's great.
Uh,
Anyway, so that we've discussed so far ridiculous things like walking into each
Oh,
other.
also we were talking about, so now that we're talking about cars, sorry, quickly.
Yeah.
You started talking about your first car being Maruti 800, right?
Correct?
Back in the day,
1329.
right?
Yeah.
So my
That
car,
I
my
drove,
family also
but I
had.
know the cars before that, which my dad drove.
So my family, when I was born, had three Maruti 800s, all different color,
So
but three in the
Maruti
same family.
2400.
Yeah, that's basically what it was.
did you? So you never drove a Fiat?
No,
I
so
did
I
not.
learned
Oh,
on the
sorry.
Fiat as well, but the first car that
Huh.
I got, he didn't drive how could he have driven a
Yeah,
Fiat? Who are you
no,
talking to?
No,
I
no,
don't.
not
Yeah,
Antariksh. Well, I mean, he could have
yeah.
driven like a 118. No, sorry,
No, no.
Fiat Uno or some shit like that. There were
So I
Fiats
I
up
learned
until
driving on the
2008.
Fiat Top Gear, the Top Gear
Oh,
Fiat, not even
All
the
right.
right.
ground shift,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So and that came, thank God, because I did Bakra for so many years. I found some taxis which had top gears back in '99,
Oh,
2000,
yeah.
2000. They
I
actually were
think back then
around.
most of them would, no?
There was a
Yeah,
mix. So there
correct.
were those. The point is that thank God I knew, because if you have never, Top Gear is a whole different ball game. It takes a
It
little
is.
while. You can't just throw someone into it. But it came back so quickly to me. I was so happy. And that sound, Amit, you remember the sound that the Top Gear makes in those cheap Indian Padmini cars? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
training from every time you touch it. You know, the Maruti was actually like gold next to all these cars
It
in terms
was.
of just how easy it was to drive. But sorry, we cut
I,
Silvery.
I, I didn't
We cut him off the
I didn't
road.
get to drive a Maruti until I came back from the US. We had a Fiat.
Oh, wow.
So
So
what did
until
you?
I went, so I learned on a Fiat
What
and
was the
then I drove
first
a
car?
Fiat.
The first car that you actually
Fiat.
drove? The Padmini with
Fiat
the top gear or the ground
with the
shift?
top gear. With the top gear. I even remember the number MMG 4612. Back when before you had the MH01 whatever.
Mine was 92 MMB 9207. MMB 9207. In your face, older car. And my dad used to call it the brown bomber after Joe Louis the boxer. And let me tell you, there was
Yeah.
nothing fast about that bloody car. In his mind, he used to say, "Let's go in the bomber." How sweet, middle class dreams in those days. The Fiat was the Mercedes. That's what you had.
So I was talking to somebody about this. Now that we have 100 models of cars, 200 models of cars, whatever we have, right? One thing which has changed, which I think is really interesting, like back then when we only had Maruti 800s, Fiats, and Ambassadors, right?
A Standard Herald.
People use, huh? Sorry,
Standard Herald.
Standard Hero. Oh yeah. Fuck, I forgot that car.
That was the
But
first
people
car. There
use.
was a car called Dolphin. Do you remember that? It came and went,
I do remember
fiberglass.
that, but that was before
It died. It
my.
died. No,
Yeah.
but bro, these things, because there was nothing new, exactly like you said, you
Yeah.
remember every one that came and went if it did.
No, but I was thinking about the paint jobs, right? I mean, like I remember all these cars. People used to get these like weird, incredibly strange colored paints, like this Maruti, sorry, this Fiat that I'm talking about, right? When I started driving it, it was like this powder blue, sky blue kind of color, and then after that, we got it painted when I started driving primarily it, and my mom was not driving that much. That time we went and we painted it like white with like red and blue stripes and shit like that. And I mean, like nobody does stuff like that to their cars anymore. But this was
Unless
very
you're a
common back then.
rapper from Gully Boy, the sequel, I don't know why you had that on your car.
No, but
But
every dude, it was very common. Everybody I knew had a non-standard color on their car.
I have a theory. It's the color is never wrong. It's whether the color suits the car and the personality of the driver
Hmm.
or the people. I think that's the key.
Yeah.
It's not really about the color. It's almost like racism in that sense. Because some people yellow they pull off, pink they pull off, lime green they pull off, and some people don't. You can see they're uncomfortable.
Do you see that many cars which are non-factory shades these days?
No, because it's
Right, because these are not factory shades. These are like
not
just
many.
completely
Yeah.
random colors that you're like, hey, this look good.
Dilip Chabria got locked up, so you can't get custom made cars now. That kind of thing.
Yeah, correct.
Did you follow that case? I hope he's out. You think he's out or he's still in?
Let me
I
check. That's a
don't
good question.
know.
I haven't followed it in a
I
while.
do not know.
We had talked about it, right? on the
Aditya
show,
SK is
like a
saying
while
he
back.
hates the podcast because it makes me feel incompetent. Amit's vocabulary in Silverie's cars. Only
These
I have
cars.
nothing to offer. He's very clear. I'm the Aam Aadmi podcaster. He's okay with me. Okay, this loser I can relate to, but these two, too much. Silverie, but be careful, huh? There'll be some ladies out there who will be after your cars and not you. We'll never know the truth. You know,
Yeah,
if the
that's
moment a
true.
girl says, I
Yeah.
like your jazz, then you know you're in trouble. Yeah. You were in the middle of a story. Amit and I cut you.
No. I was just saying that we had three. We just had different colors. Basically, one we had a green, one red, and one cream, and we go around just in that.
Why do you have three when there were just two parents who could drive at that point?
My grandfather also, right? We used to stay with my grandparents in Delhi,
Oh,
and
okay.
so the green
Okay.
was my grandfather's, the
You,
red was
you
my
dodged
dad's.
that. You dodged that. Otherwise, you'd
Yeah.
have sounded terrible. We had an extra car, in case.
Yeah. Oh, in case I have to be driven around.
Hey,
Yeah,
Bhagwan,
correct.
Rajni said 99. What am I calling him Bhagwan? Rajni's boy had 99 Rolls Royces. What's that about?
That's right.
That's
Well, I mean, like just in case, man. If 98 don't work, you need you need that 99th one to get around.
that's called being a perfectionist, not Amir Khan and Pamir Khan. This guy is the perfectionist. 99. And I remember reading about Muhammad Ali in his pomp having 9 cars and thinking what a waste that would be. And then he gave an interview explaining why 9 cars, because he changed the car every day, which I didn't understand the maths of that. So after 9 days, you again come back to one car. So I don't get it, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't quite get that math either.
Money, people do strange things. Mike Tyson got himself a tiger.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you explain that? I want a tiger.
And a face tattoo.
That's okay. That's of all the things that Mike Tyson was accused of, the face tattoo is the least of the issue. He's a very changed man. By the way, I follow a lot of his podcasts and podcasts that he appears on. So he's
Yeah.
he's an extremely intelligent person. And Amit is very well read. He speaks well, but he doesn't speak well in that sense.
He's got a weird voice.
Yeah, the presentation style
but
may not be great, but his
yeah,
thought process is fabulous.
yeah.
He reminds me of a young Silverie in that sense.
Mm,
Are you
okay.
paying attention, Silverie? I was just checking.
Yeah,
Too many
kind of.
compliments, are turning red, bro. Turning red. Yeah,
No,
mostly
I'm
men
not. I'm
shaming
not.
you. A lot of male love
Uh,
today. Be careful. What's the
Once
graphic on your
the
t-shirt?
graphic on your t-shirt shows
Podcast movement. It's a
Okay, don't strip.
event.
Just
It's a conference that I went for this year.
Nashville. Oh, nice.
Nashville,
Yeah, no,
Tennessee.
yeah.
word to the wise. While the 57
Or Tamil
employees get to
Nadu.
go to
Nashville's in Tamil Nadu. Wow, man, nice.
Yeah.
Nashville, Tamil
Okay.
Nadu, Tennessee.
Yeah. TN.
So he gets to go to Tennessee, and you guys get to go to Khar. Huh? That's why you're going from Hawaii. You're not leaving the home.
Well,
for whatever
not
reason.
that much going to car is happening.
No doubt.
But
Yeah,
yes.
that's true.
Touchy topic. But what can we do?
I mean,
The government says,
it's fine.
just go
Yeah.
It's not a touchy topic at all. I haven't
Yeah,
asked
yeah.
anybody till now that they should start coming to office. If I start asking and then they don't come, then it becomes a touchy topic, right?
Anyway, Silverie, look
if-
at it this way. As long as I ask you to leave office, that's a really bad conversation. Coming to
Yeah.
office is a good conversation. You're
Don't
in
come to
demand.
office.
All good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Daddy, good news, bad
Lot of
news.
bad news.
Today it was a different conversation. Yeah.
So this is very interesting.
626.
Bigfoot special. So sorry, we're already reading comments a little bit as we are going into the show.
Yeah, please. Let's just read the comments. They're more fun.
When I was mentioning Joe Rogan's podcast, this is what that's in the Akash
Interesting.
Singh episode. So Akash Singh is a comedian who
Oh,
does
okay, that's-
the podcast called Flagrant 2, and he has been to India also to perform in Bombay. So he would know that he knows the scene kind of. And
Akash Singh is from India.
No, he's from the US.
yeah, but
Typical American
So-
name. I hear it. Yeah.
So Cyrus, he actually had. So remember, we had this long-standing disagreement between us about the whole Apu thing, and that.
Yeah.
So he actually put something out about
great take
why
on
is
it.
Apu
Yeah.
this, right? Why is Apu insulting to Indians, or why is he racist? And just
Oh, he's the guy who started that whole
so
thing.
he flipped it.
Where the
He's
Indian comics made a documentary and stuff.
he's the opposite guy. That was Hari.
Oh, he's on my side. He's not a big deal.
Yeah, so so this Akash Singh guy basically, and his YouTube special, his comedy specials on YouTube. So I saw it just this
Yeah.
morning actually, like when I was
20 minutes
flipping
yeah,
around YouTube,
done.
and I was
Exactly.
I was watching it, and it's actually a really funny
Yeah,
point of
good.
view,
Yeah,
which is
But-
interesting.
Very good theory.
So
No,
now
it's just
Joe
This is
basically
that-
the idea being that he is not He's not racist, or it's not a racist representation, because if anything, Apu is the only three-dimensional character in all of Simpsons, in all of the Simpsons. Everybody else is pretty much one note and just exaggerating that note over time. And so so that's the kind of broad take, right? He is the personification of the American dream.
Yeah, but also see,
Yeah.
Then he talks about how his parents had zero patience for the idea of him getting into all this woke shit. They're like, don't get into, like, the kind of white supremacy stuff, because no, don't worry about, like, the idea that white people can get jobs that I cannot get in the US, right? He was talking
yeah,
about that, and then his parents were like, yeah, but you are in the US compared to people in India who can't do anything, right? Or who are stuck in different circumstances. So it
yeah.
was it was a interesting non
That's the whole philosophy, even for Black
yeah,
America, where you say don't wear that on your back all the time. That
yeah,
I'm second. I'm never. They're never going to give me a chance anyway. All that. That there's a whole side that says never have that attitude and be extremely positive and be the best, absolutely the best in the class, be the best at
yeah.
job, be the best at whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all said and done, I don't know why this Apu accent upsets people and why bad Indian accents upset people. I just think it's too little. It's too little. And
It
it should.
is little, but see, I understand why people are upset. I get this guy's point
Have
too,
you heard
right?
what Silverie has done to England? I mean, every
Yes,
single part of it, Northern
Yeah.
England, Southern
They
England,
should be
yes.
offended.
Scotland. I
Yeah.
mean, it's all
Correct.
dead now because of his
Absolutely.
accents. But we enjoy it.
But then they talk about it also. Like on the Joe Rogan episode, they're talking about how it is still fine to do a French accent, or it is still fine to do a German
Yeah,
accent.
exactly. Yeah.
But it's not fine to do a black African country's accent. Or a black
Yeah,
accent,
Yeah.
black accent, as it's called.
Yeah, that's that.
I
I
don't know.
also have a
It's
problem with all that. These different rules and all that, like, because the pain is more for here and that. I mean, just let it be. If people are taking offense, and just say, okay, I'll stop it. That's it. That's where it should end. It shouldn't be more than that. But genuinely taking offense, because someone's going to take offense for no reason because they got nothing to do. I mean, that's not fair.
no, but see, again, the thing is, taking offense is fine. People are allowed to be offended by stuff, but that doesn't mean things should be stopped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right
Absolutely.
now, over
Absolutely.
here, but this is the thing, right? I mean,
Can I?
like, in this particular context, right, when you think about the Apu thing in the 80s and 90s, probably not as problematic as it is in 2021, 22, when this should happen, right? I mean, like, at that point, it's like, dude, this is, you can't have, you need to, it needs to change a little bit, I think. I don't want to say
You're
I'm
getting into
glad
the
they
space where people do it from a mocking point of view. There's
huh,
is it's not it is mocking, obviously you can't deny that, but it's more this is more intelligent sort of thing underneath. Like he says, there are three dimensions. So I don't know if there are three, but there's definitely more to the Apu character than the accent. So
yeah.
you can enjoy it from many ways and different perspectives. But anyway, I'm just saying we Indians shouldn't be so fragile. This coming from us, the
I
most
don't think
fragile of
anybody
all.
should be fragile.
Yeah.
See, the problem right now, right, Cyrus, in my mind, or one of the problems, I can't say the problem, right? But the concern when it comes to this kind of stuff is, every time somebody criticizes should not mean that you're trying to pull it down, right? These two things can
Mm.
exist independently of each other. I cannot like something.
Called democracy. That was the
Yeah, you
essence
can.
of it.
But the thing is, so what's happened is, right, that earlier it used to be that you would say that, hey, this is offensive, you should pull it down. Now it's like, you say something is offensive, and, oh, you want to pull it down, that it's gone into like that kind of, so it's flipped
Yeah.
in that
I'll
sense.
give you a more local example of where I think democracy is at its best in a way, even though it sounds ridiculous at the same time, which is the Statue of Equality in Telangana and Hyderabad, which has just come up
Okay.
a week back, where the
Uh-huh.
Prime Minister went to inaugurate it. And we've discussed that, I think. And of course, it was made by Chinese manufacturers who were
China.
paid
Yeah, it's
135 crores.
hilarious.
Chinese
Yeah, very funny.
company from China, not a
Yeah,
Indian Chinese guy or company here, very much from
Uh,
there. 135 crores
correct.
for Statue of Equality. And of course, KCR and all did not go because they're anti-BJP, etc. And so that happened. But isn't that wonderful that you could have that Statue of Equality in a non-BJP state? They are not even supporting you, but in a sense, that's a good sign of democracy. That all this is
uh,
happening. They don't like each other, they don't get along, but this is happening. So
Yeah,
I'm all
correct.
for that. And coming back to Mr. Akhilesh Singh, no, what is his name? Avinash Akash Akash Singh.
Akash Singh.
Ak-
Akash Singh. Yeah.
Akash Singh, the comedian. What was the take on Munawar? That
I
they
don't
can't
know. I
speak.
just saw on the chat
I
somewhere
just
that
saw.
there was a take.
Just get Joe Rogan on, bro. Why is it so difficult? I mean,
Dude,
call the guy.
he's basically, we don't have time for him, man. We got better guests. What are we gonna do with Joe
Really?
Rogan here?
You want to go
dude.
through the list?
Yeah.
Okay,
Want Joe
What do we-
Rogan on the
what
show?
do-
Yuck.
Joe Rogan, come on, dude, please.
Yeah, Joe Rogan con hai, yeah. I got my cousin Joe DeCosta will be better. We'll just get him on. Yeah, that's fabulous. Amit for PM. Oh
Amit
wow.
Doshi. Amit
Okay.
Doshi. Let's specify which Amit.
Yeah. We can laugh. This is not us now. This is on them.
No, it's
We can
not.
laugh.
Yeah.
We're off the hook. More comments like that. It's on you. It's on you. Yeah. By the way, it's
So I should
6:33.
take a
What
break.
about the break?
Yeah.
We should take
So
a
Famous
break.
break.
Yes.
By the way, in the Deepika Padukone episode, which we will still record later on tomorrow,
Sometime in the future.
in the future, we didn't take a
yes.
break. We did take a break, but nothing happened in the break. When we do that later in the future, tomorrow.
Future. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we'll do a future break in the future
Oh,
episodes.
so there will be a break.
Exactly.
You're
Yeah.
getting a break in the future.
It's magic.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Now, by now, people realize that we're so senile. There's just no point. They must be doing something else. Just keeping it on for noise. If people who are lonely just have this talk going on so you don't feel lonely. That's it. Joe Rogan. Really, who needs that guy?
Yeah,
But-
man. Seriously, who
try.
needs this 11 million listeners per episode? Who needs that? I don't need that.
He won't have 11 million after he comes onto our show. That's for sure.
All right,
hey,
man. That's not a
please,
big deal, man. What's the
Yeah.
problem, man? That's my Joe Rogan impression.
Okay.
That's he says man a lot, and he says
It went back to Liverpool
Yeah,
at some
man.
point.
he says that
You're like our great,
Yeah, man.
our leading actor Kunal Vijayakar, who now his Bengali accent whenever.
Cyrus, we didn't take a break.
Oh, we have to take a break.
Hey everybody, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Storytellers and Storytellers, Vineet talks to filmmaker and production designer Uzair Merchant. He shares how he's created the world's first ever NFT music video. On The Habit Coach, Ashton talks to Joe Town, Hollywood actor and coach of the performer's mindset. They decode various aspects of the high performer mindset and how to deal with mind blanking. On Press Decode, Sara Vagda and Prafulla discuss the controversy around Joe Rogan's Spotify podcast and Netflix India's growing woes. On The Longest Constitution, Priya discusses menstruation, maternity, and disability at the workplace. And on Ikaduka Economy, Abhinav and Dr. Junjunwala discuss the effects of rising inflation. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Also, please do tell a friend. It really does help us when you spread the word about our podcast. And I'd also like to ask you if you could rate or recommend wherever you listen to our podcast. And speaking of where you listen to this show, if you're on an Android phone, do check out our new Android app. We have a brand new app with a brand new listening experience. Definitely check it out. I think you will enjoy it. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Bank of Baroda and CoinSwitch Kuber. Thank you so much for making this possible.
I just want to say the ad, repeated or not, the music is very pleasant. It's sort of keyboardish, maybe a little guitar. It's very pleasant. Why do I have to get Falguni Pathak go on speed in the beginning? You know, like Navratri night opening music. I get that, and then
Okay.
this. I mean, this is so much nicer.
Because we want to pump people up for your
for
rant.
this show, there's nothing in this show. It has no substance.
Dude, you rant. You start with a rant. You start with like
I
your
rant
purest
anyway.
expression of your id.
I
We
ran if
want
you're
that
late.
to be visible.
What the hell? No, that's not fair. I like that music was so nice and benign, which is more me. This I don't know. I think Rishi has chosen the music. But Rishi's a musician, by the way, guys who follow our program intently.
No,
The few that do.
don't blame Rishi. Blame Naveen Narona. Three producers ago, this music was
This is
selected.
Naveen Narona's footprint.
This is Naveen Narona's first thing he did when he joined the job was say, "Hey, this." Remember when we first
Thank
started, we
God
had that like
he's gone,
South
Amit.
Indian.
Thank God he's gone.
You had that like classical kind of thing that he wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had that. Naveen Narona came first thing. He's like, "Screw this shit. We'll let me change the music." He said, he asked me.
So he took out a funny piece of music, which is like contextual in a sense, because it was completely opposite to anything. And then he puts this on, which makes no sense because he feels like he's missed the 9-day Navratri festival every year because of various costume issues. By the way, he dressed as Tarzan and his clothes came off, remember? And was seen stalkers. He admitted they show a lot of truth has come out. People have just been very honest and open. It's shameful. And if we can just remember that, we can just blackmail them for the rest of our lives if nothing else happens. You don't need Joe Rogan, you're right. We've got to use our minds, be creative, innovative, we'll find a way. Yeah. All right. Shall we not bother with topics and go to the comments only?
No, that's Antariksh worked so hard on putting together topics. Like all of 60 seconds was spent.
No,
Let's go
Amit, he
through them.
doesn't care. Don't worry. He's
Okay,
not
so actually,
invested in this whole thing.
if we can discuss a short topic and then not the main
so
one.
much
We
for that,
we
Amit.
already
So much
talked
for
about
that.
a short topic.
Yes, boss. Okay. All right then. If it pleases me, Lord. Yes.
A short topic which we just found out just before going live on this podcast was on this episode was that great Khali has joined the BJP in Delhi, which is
um,
what do you think that will
as
mean?
leaders and statesmen go, I can't think of a better choice. I've watched him in his tight pants with his big jaw doing his WWE moves and all that. And I
Yeah,
thought this is the guy to lead
like
India
global
at some
appeal.
point. I global
Yeah,
appeal, and I mean
yeah,
he'll be the biggest guy in the United Nations. I mean, we don't need nuclear weapons or anything else. We can just go. This is the great. First, his name is the great. If your name has the great as its first name, I mean that's
correct.
fantastic. I mean, Mahatma Gandhi had to work so hard to get the Mahatma attached. I mean, this guy just he turned up first day at the job. I'm the great Khali. Just look at that. I mean, that's oh, he's fabulous. Yeah. But it's normally in India, it's a sign that the career is waning. When they turn to politics, mostly if you see the graph of celebrities, film people, entertainers, influential people, they all seem
He
to
has
turn
been
to
on Big Boss
politics when
also.
they're in trouble with the law. Yeah, there you go. But that's another sign.
Yeah,
Hence, I've tried to reject
yeah.
it 4 years in a row because there's no coming back.
Amitabh Bachchan, exception, not an exception.
But that was an exception because I don't think his career was waning at that point. He and
Yeah,
Rajnikant are the only two I can think of where they actually thought that they can make a difference because
yeah,
you're so everywhere and everybody's demanding it off you, and you realize that maybe I can help. I think initially both these people had a very strong idea that they can help society, that they could do something, and then of course politics catches you by the scrotum and there's not much you can do. Yeah.
yep.
India or otherwise. So let's not bully India on this one. Politics sucks everywhere. Poor Boris Johnson with his pals drinking on Friday night now. I mean, have you seen the bashing he gets on a daily basis in Parliament in England? I mean, they are
It's
so sarcastic and they laugh, and he just puts his head down. He just
Yeah.
cops it. Yeah.
yeah.
But like I've been telling people, his if his follies are just drinking and opposing and contradicting and being a hypocrite in terms of conditions for the rest of the country compared to some Indian and Asian politicians, that's not the biggest crime. Our body of work is a little more substantial in terms of evil and evility. So yeah. Yeah, but really, it's terrible that every day you got to go there. It's like you've been caught cheating on your wife or something, and everybody brings it up every day. And what can you do? Because there's no real reply, right? I mean, the
There
morality is
isn't. Yeah,
one way. So yeah,
it's yeah. I don't know what to do. Right. I mean, like again, he's a big boy. He should be able
he's
to
a
take
big
it.
boy. He has to
But
take
at
it.
this, yeah. But at the same time, it also it gets tiring when people harp on the same thing over and over and over again. Right.
Hmm.
That also gets a little exhausting. So I don't know what to make
Or
of
you've
it.
got the underdog complex where you, like me, very often like to just take the side of the person who's less. The lesser dog in the fight. You just feel bad. You overlook what happened before and say, okay, now you're bullying him. Let's back off. But you're right.
Does
It,
that's
it, bec- it becomes like a pack of wolves. I mean, it's
yeah.
scary. Because remember,
It's
these
not.
guys are very eloquent. Even in
Yeah.
our parliament, there are very eloquent speakers as well. So if they're all bashing you at the same time, it can be quite
Yeah.
hurtful. It doesn't stop. Uh,
No, so like, if, for example, the stuff around Kyrie Irving, right? The guy who won't take the vaccination and is not playing because of that. Now, he's an idiot. I know he's an idiot, but I don't need to hear that he's an idiot like every time there's a discussion about him.
but he becomes like the
That,
talisman, like the front man
yeah,
for stupidity or whatever. And so they go.
yeah,
Rogan is the same. So
Hmm.
what
yeah,
happens is they just become targets, and it just catches. No one.
yeah,
This again. I don't think you can tell me how it catches. It just catches. Some people they get smear, and the smear campaign catches. Everybody says no, it was planned. Nothing is planned. It just catches. It suits Kyrie Irving because at that point in time, the world was like aghast that an athlete could talk like that. And then make a stand out of it. It's not quite Black Lives Matter, the stand.
yeah.
The stand is the same Djokovic made, which you're thinking after some time, bro, really? This is the stand you want to be remembered for?
No,
You
so
know,
it's insane, right? I mean, like in this particular case, so it's really insane because their team is on an 8-game losing streak because this dude won't get an injection, right? This is a team
will it
with
make
like
that much
three of the.
difference?
Yeah, dude, it's a team with. So the problem is that it's a team with three of the 10 or 15 best players in the NBA, right? So James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, all on one team. Kevin Durant is hurt.
Yeah.
Repeat that, Silverie. Repeat the names.
Come on,
Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and then someone other
you
people.
got two of them. I'm
छह
impressed.
गाड़ी
I
छह
James.
गाड़ी घर पे है और 3 NBA बास्केटबॉलर का नाम भी नहीं है तेरे पास भाई. Not even
yeah.
3.
No, but it's just like Kevin Durant's hurt, and they're losing all the time because Kyrie Irving can only play games outside of New York, and because of that, James Harden, the third star, is
It's
really
so
pissed off, and
funny
he wants to leave, and it's just nonsense. Just get
how
a
the
fucking
world is so
injection,
funny.
dude.
I mean, you're leading NBA freaking superstar, and you're not allowed in certain states because of policy.
No, no, it's not.
Regarding,
So
yeah,
he's only not
it is.
allowed in New York, in his home state.
Yeah.
Everywhere else he's allowed. Like if he was not playing for New York and he was playing somewhere else, he'd be allowed in New York also.
But this is the Eastern Conference, right? This is that one
Eastern
side.
Conference, yeah.
Yeah. So how many places do they actually go to beyond the home state?
And a lot, like all of
Give me a
them.
number. 7, 6.
29 other teams, 29 other places you go to. You play one game in every stadium at least once.
29 states are okay, and only New York State is not.
No, no, no. So New York State has a rule that if you are a worker for New York, okay, if you
Hmm.
work, if you are somebody who's employed in a
In
private
any
capacity or
function. Yeah.
company in the state of New York, and you are not allowed to go for public gatherings if you are unvaccinated, right? So Kyrie Irving's allowed in the
Mhm.
facility to practice, but a game is a public gathering. So he's not allowed. You're not allowed in public
Oh,
gatherings
even with
if
the players, it's a public gathering. We said the 9 other people right there
no,
plus
but
referee.
that's considered to be a workplace, I
No,
think.
I'll take him to court.
So go for it, dude.
He
Go
can't
for
play
it.
anywhere.
No, but I think what's happened. So, but he's allowed to go and do the practice, but he's not allowed to go into the stadiums. So basically, the arenas he's not allowed to go to in New York, and so he can go to pretty much every other arena that exists out there, except for the other arena in New York.
Once again, the NBA has hijacked my show. You come in,
Okay.
we have no topics, and you take it. Always find some bloody simile or some leveling platform from the NBA
Hey,
that we have to look at.
what do you want
What
me to
about me?
say?
I want to talk about Justin Langer being thrown out, which is huge in Australian
So
cricket, and all the
go
podcasts
for
are
it.
over that about him walking out, etc., etc. There's a big controversy there, but I didn't bring it up because I had respect for the fact that Silverie only likes cars and you
Uh,
only like basketball. I stayed away and said, "Don't be indulgent. Don't be like that." And now you bully me, both
I
of you.
know. I'm awful.
Him with his topics. What will he come up with after 1 week of research? The great Khali joins BJP. Let's go.
Yeah. That's
He had
totally.
one interesting. I think both of his other topics were interesting, though. I think we might have covered one last time. The Hyundai and
Yeah,
KFC and all of that was an interesting story. So
Yeah.
let's not slam him
yeah,
so
but I thought it
much.
would take us longer than, and we won't get time to get to the AMAs, is what I thought. That'll become a longer
Yeah,
topic.
let's
That's
go to
okay.
the AMAs, guys. Sorry, we failed to give you even one proper topic. We did Khali, the great Khali, and you can bounce
Yeah.
off that as much as you want. So we're going to doze off any moment now. Yatin saying
No,
that
no,
you're going to
not
doze
yet.
off. Show them how active you are.
Not yet, not yet. It'll be fine.
Do burpees.
Ooh, hey,
This is what
fun.
burpees.
Oh,
That's
That's a
not what a
drunk.
burpee
That's a
is,
drunk man
dude.
and a sangeet. You know.
that's
That's
really
not what a
fun.
burpee is, dude. Even I know that's not what a burpee is.
I was just trying to be
Yeah.
fun. I was trying to be fun.
Okay.
Okay, what is a burpee? I mean, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. It's
Okay.
fine.
Bro, we're all sitting. You're saying I'm 50.
Is that
Amit's physical shape is such that he does not interested in doing burpees. That leaves you. You want to do it, you do
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Come on, let's go to the AMAs.
Go
They're
on.
waiting.
Questions?
I wish. Yeah, okay.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored. I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me.
Vinay RK says, Cyrus, I saw your shirtless pic on the IVM post. Pretty impressed and a bit surprised over the abs. Don't
We
you
put a
always say that you
shirtless
only
pic of
lift
Cyrus
weights?
up.
Okay, now here's
Sorry, Amit, what did you
something
say?
you please
We
understand.
put a
They-
shirtless pic of Cyrus up on our Instagram.
You not only
I mean,
did
I don't
that,
know.
but that's the
That's
only
a-
thing that people look at. So I had to answer to 25,000 people the next day. And I have no idea you had done that till Aisha finds it on Insta and shows it to me. Yeah, don't even start.
Sorry,
Really.
sorry.
I thought
Okay.
it was like a joke, because we took so many pictures that day. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
correct.
interesting to know.
Yeah.
We
I
took a
don't
couple
take
of
any
pictures with
cardio.
Cyrus
No cardio.
shirtless.
Secondly,
Yeah.
anybody who lifts weights actually knows that you don't get abs from doing ab workouts. All right, you could get abs only from diet. And the stupid metformin leaned me out a little bit, so it's made my vascularity come out. If you must know, so a little more veins, a little less fat.
Oh.
So unfortunately, you drop a little size and you immediately get a little like this. So that's all there is, Vinay. Don't waste your time. Is that Vinay who works with us, our producer? Vinay used to work.
I,
We used to
I
get
don't.
this guy
Vinay
on.
RK, I don't
Rishi,
think.
Rishi Karan. Our producer Vinay was Rishi Karan's right hand man. Except now Rishi's
Yeah,
grown so
correct.
fat he can't find his hands.
Rishikesh, yeah.
dude, I know where I hired him from. I got a resume before he joined.
Oh, right. Sorry. Of course, you should know. I mean, that's really wrong for you not to know. Yeah. Let's get Rishi on. He's like the longest player in this business, I would think. Almost. Your light's gone for some reason, and nobody's interested in Rishi. I got no support from the staff, so Rishi's cancelled. Back to Joe Rogan.
Well,
Let's stick with
how
Joe
do we
Rogan.
do Rishi right now? Nobody's in the office, right? If I was in the office, I'd do the flip again.
Oh,
But
okay.
right now Rishi is. I mean, like,
Not that Rishi Kannan.
oh, Rishi Khanna's not been on our show before.
Oh God, has
Rishikesh
he?
hasn't. Siddharth has. I don't know if
Siddharth,
Rishi
I
has been
Siddharth
remember.
there.
has. Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
But
Rishikesh was
Siddharth,
also on.
no, Rishi hasn't been. Because we, no, he hasn't.
All right, we
It
can
can't be
ask him.
that bad. How can I not remember? Please tell me he's not been.
Well, I mean, like, you've probably been on his show a bunch of times. So
Once in the recent past, like just before the pandemic. Yeah.
let's talk to him. We'll talk to him. We'll ask him to come on.
Well, Vinay,
Huh?
if Vinay parted badly, don't let him call, okay? Because you know how it is when
That's
you leave
okay.
the job. Yeah, so we'll call
I'm sure
ourselves.
Vinay
And
will
we'll say
parted.
Vinay, and we will tell him Vinay's left this job. He's now an architect. He's doing really well.
All right. The next one comes in from
Right?
Abhishek Chandrasekhar. He says, "What are you guys watching nowadays? Now that Shark Tank is over, I have moved to Rocket Boys." Is what Abhishek says.
Rocket Boys. We push Rocket
Jim
Boys,
Sarwan.
and we almost got
Yeah, we
Jim
did.
Sarb, the richest
Yeah.
actor in India who doesn't need money from acting. Why do you keep saying that? What is your complex? Uh, have you started watching Rocket Boys?
Not yet. It's my
I
next
plan
thing.
to.
I
I
basically I'm
absolutely
figuring
plan to.
out Sony Live subscription. It's the one OTT I don't have a subscription
Even
to.
I don't have Sony Live. They charge
Yeah,
extra. Can you
yeah, I
talk to
know.
I
them?
mean, they
So
all
special
charge extra.
category. Why do they charge extra, man? This is India. Cable TV survive because nobody charges extra. This charging extra is not going to work. Are we
I
charging for
know.
the podcast?
Well, not yet.
Oh, damn
Soon.
it.
Yeah. No, no,
Coming
no. We're not
soon.
charging. We're not charging for
Now
the
people are
podcast.
laughing. This is the first time they're laughing on the podcast. They're charging and they want Joe Rogan. What
But
mushroom you on, boy? Ah. All right.
so I saw a show this weekend. I loved it. Reacher on Amazon Prime.
Reacher, the Tom Cruise film?
So yeah,
Jack
so
Jack
Tom
Reacher?
Reacher.
Cruise. So yeah, so Jack Reacher, the Tom Cruise thing was
The
based.
web spin off on it.
No, so it's based on a book series,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'll just say this: the Tom Cruise interpretation of Reacher was awful.
Huh? I love Reacher.
So the movie was well made and all that, but it could have been anybody. It didn't need to be Jack Reacher. In the books written by Lee Child, and there are over 20 of them, right? Jack Reacher is a character who is 6 foot 5 inches tall.
That's your problem. That he's a
Yeah.
short guy playing a tall guy.
But don't know. So the entire way that Reacher is seen by the world, right, is
It's
like this is
different.
a giant who can step on me and kill
So,
me.
so you wanted a great Khali
Oh,
instead of
wow.
Tom Cruise. This is what
And so this new show that they've done with somebody like that. They've got somebody who has that kind of size and presence. And
Is it the Chris Pine one?
no, it's not Chris Pine. It's some dude from the Umbrella Academy.
Reacher sequel is
Oh,
got
okay.
an Indian touch to it. Have you all seen the
Okay,
Reacher sequel? It's called Reacher Chadda. Lovely.
okay.
Very
But
nice.
this is
You have to give
yeah. I'm
five
not gonna.
seconds.
I'm not even gonna engage with that joke. I don't know what
Yeah,
to say
you got to
about
give
that.
5 second break after that for people to it's like, how much you're charging for the podcast now? Huh? Give me a rate.
But what,
Uh,
what happened with the Tom Cruise version of it, right? Was that basically you couldn't see any humor in the guy. The
yeah.
guy
Sorry,
was
the
okay.
wife. Huh.
But so when
Did
Tom,
you hear her? Could you pick that up?
I did
There
not.
was bad language used. I cover
Okay.
that window now with a piece of something. When she
Uh,
goes, the window has a little bit of opening, which is well, the curtain doesn't cover it fully. So I like to cover that area. I'm a I like to be very definite about these things, and I forgot to take it off before she came home. So she's screaming and shouting. She's broken the furniture, and she will hit me at some point. Oh, oh. Woman power. Uh, I think we might get people might pay if she's going to beat me on the podcast. I think we might finally you could get a subscription going, bro. Sorry, where were we?
I was saying how I liked Reacher. It was so much.
And they think I'm the comedian in the family. It's amazing. I stop it. They're all laughing at us. We've got now lots of listeners. It's not like the old days. Now it's like 20. Yeah. Okay. All right.
No, but I really enjoyed Reacher, so I would highly recommend that to other.
So I want to ask you, it's a web series again, right?
It's on Amazon Prime. Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna watch it. Because I also like the detective. What do you want to call this
yeah.
genre?
You will like it. So
A mix of detective and action genre. It's both.
one of the big problems with the Tom Cruise Reacher, right, was that because Tom Cruise did not have that size and presence, right, he had to play the character very intensely. So all the humor was lost. It was not funny. Those movies at all, right? The two
There's no
movies.
humor.
The There's
Tom
no
Cruise
humor.
doesn't do humor.
This is quite humorous. This is quite
His
funny.
humor is in his Christian Scientology when he brings that up and doesn't take
Well,
medication.
he's done some good comedies, right? I mean, like he was
Cocktail.
in Cocktail's not a great movie, but okay. I
No, no,
was
where's the
thinking
comedy?
Risky Business.
Risky business. Okay, I'll give you one point in a body of work of what 30 years.
In 30 years, yeah. But there's some humor in this movie also, Rain Man. So that's mostly maybe Dustin Hoffman, but Tom Cruise is kind of funny in
Yeah,
that
okay.
movie too.
No, Rain Man has its moments. I'll give you that. So I'll give you two. Chalo. He's not bad
And
in Rain
after
Man.
that,
It's not like Dustin Hoffman is eating him up, and that's such a louder character.
no, but Dustin Hoffman's
Tropic Thunder.
it's
Tropic
Tropic Thunder.
Thunder.
There you go.
But Tropic Thunder. Everybody else was funny.
Yeah. So but I mean, like, still the movie was really funny, and he
I
played
like
the
the movie.
role well, right? So I mean, like, yeah, I'd say that
I
too.
can't believe that we named a.
Jerry Maguire. No, Jerry Maguire is not funny. Tom Cruise is not funny. Cuba Gooding Jr. is funny, and Jerry Maguire.
But
Yeah.
we named a road after Tom in
Yep.
Bombay.
Cruise Road,
Yes, Santa.
Santa Cruz
I'm,
Road. Okay.
why are we?
Santa
Why are
Cruz
we
is not a road.
leave it? Is there a need to go?
It's an area.
Please stop.
Yeah.
It's not a road. Santa Cruz is not a road. Of course, it's a road.
Santa Cruz is not a road. Well, how is Santa Cruz a road? Santa Cruz is a locality.
So many times I ask the driver where we reached, and he says
Area.
Santa Cruz.
So that's a locality.
He doesn't say Santa Cruz area. He says Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz area.
What's the road called then? But the road is called what? Bhai, Sadak ka naam kya hai?
This is
SV Road, Highway, Linking
SC
Road,
Linking Road. Yeah.
I've
JP
lived a
Road.
lie
there are
all
so
my
many
life.
roads.
The Phantom of Santa Cruz, which doesn't exist.
What's you really thought Santa Cruz was the name of a road?
I thought the airport is in Santa Cruz, and Santa Cruz,
Yeah,
that's Santa
that's
Cruz.
the area.
But the
But
Santa
Andheri
Cruz
West is
the
not a road,
yeah.
Cyrus. Yeah. Bandra is not a road.
Malabar Hill is not
I
a
hate
road.
this city. I leave tonight. I pack my bags. I leave tonight. I go via the expressway. I go over Santa Cruz Road, and then I go straight. Yeah.
Wait, do you think you're saying Malabar Hill Road?
Yeah, Malabar Hill is not a
Yeah,
road.
it is Malba Hill.
Where's this
Malabar Hill
Malabar Hill Road?
The whole thing is Malba Hill.
It's the area,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah, so there's small roads in the big road. The big road is Malba Hill. So you got a
Which
mother
big road?
and they got children roads.
There's Balkeshwar Road, there's Ridge Road, there's Nepean Road. Where is Malabar Hill
Little
Road?
Gibbs Road, Nepean Road. They're all small roads. Durgadat Jatia Marg.
The three big roads are Balkeshwar Road, Ridge Road, and Nepean Road.
And who's the mother of all these roads? Who encompasses all of them? Malba effing Hill.
But that's not a road, that's a locality.
It's a big road. And inside the big road are small roads. Like India is a big country, and then we got states like Maharashtra, Kerala, Punjab, Tamil Nadu. We got these states there.
Dude, there is no Malabar Hill Road. What the fuck? You're the dude. You're the ultimate Malabar Hill ambassador, and
Yeah.
there is no Malabar Hill Road.
Malabar Hill is a big mess of a road and road area.
But there's like Pedder Road, Grant Road are roads.
Let's agree to come to a compromise and call it a road area.
There's no. It's not. It's a locality.
Sure.
Other
Every road
locality.
has some area that it is in. Yes, correct.
Damn you. Where's
is
my
how it
dinner?
Yeah,
Okay, she's now really getting angry. Please, all the people who listen, they take down notes, okay? She's now trying to keep the window open while I put the AC on later. I'll jump out of the window then. I'm saying it here. She's saying good riddance before Valentine's Day. Tell Amit. What is he going to do with that Valentine's Day? I don't know what that means. What show?
Why?
How do you know? That's. Why did you change your clothes? Oh God. Guys, can you carry on with the show? As you can
Alright,
see, I'm on the road, less
I
travel.
can answer a few basketball questions while you're waiting. I'm
Yep.
sure there are some.
Sure, go ahead, sir.
Go,
Go ahead,
do that after 7. Then
No, let's keep going.
Okay.
What's next?
Karan Sethi has a two-part question. He says Prashant Kishore in a recent interview said the BJP have a system like Australia where they have the infrastructure to produce players, unlike India, where players get into the senior team. Get into the senior team on sheer talent, seeing how cricket is one of the few sports in India which is generally thought to have good infrastructure. How is it that even in cricket, the infrastructure is less developed?
that's not true. Our infrastructure is getting better all the time. We have tours from under 16 onwards. We've got the academy. We've got all kinds of state academies. So it's getting better all the time. And we've got our tech usage more than anybody else in the world. And if you're looking at science and sports, then India is number one in cricket. So I think that's Karan. That's not fair and that's not completely correct. I like his comparison though. With Pakistan, it would work. This would be better suited for Pakistan, where on sheer talent, they produce players and they're still able to have a certain standard in cricket without having home cricket for about 10, 12 years. So for them, this works much better, not for us. We've gone in the last 5, 7 years, our growth has been astronomical. in terms of the facilities. Wickets, we've got faster wickets. In fact, we have less spinning wickets in India now. It's really changed. That's why all the fast bowlers are coming out. So no, that's not fully true. But the BJP, you agree with that? The first part, the BJP has better infrastructure, so they have a nice hierarchy and rank grassroots to top system where people go.
Really? I
That's what
don't
he's trying to
think
say.
so.
Infer, just like
I
cricket
don't know if
has from university
I
to.
do not. I don't know if I buy that, right? Because I mean, like today, the BJP in many ways has taken on some of the most some of the biggest problems that you had with other parties, right? I mean, like it's all Narendra Modi, it's all Amit Shah, and now it's all Yogi Adityanath, right? I mean, like
But then why is
where our man Fadnavis just completely disappeared once he's gone out of
he's not
this.
disappeared? He's sitting and screaming and shouting in the opposition. He's
Yeah,
not
but still, I
disappeared.
mean, like essentially disappeared from the news, no?
No, so you're saying that their power is controlled by two or three people, and beyond that, there's nothing. There's no second layer. But he's saying no.
I don't think that that's true. At least I don't think that's true. Again, I don't know. I'm not like, I don't follow the ins and outs of politics on a day-to-day basis. I look at what's happening on a national level and I see the same names all the time.
Silverie can help us. Can you ask your parents to come on the show? We need people who
Um,
know the BJP.
I don't think my dad should come on the show. I love my dad, so
You're scared.
he
You're
should
scared
not
of
be
the
on the show.
outcome.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
he
really
can't be
scared.
worse than my wife, can he? Come on.
I mean, no. The thing is,
No.
I don't want to say anything about my dad. I think he'll say the wrong thing, which shouldn't be said in public.
The PC wrong thing you mean?
Yeah,
Okay, but he's very opinionated. He's very clearly opinionated one way or the other. Is what you're saying?
yeah.
All right.
Correct,
So what
absolutely.
does he do when he sees your comedy sets and you lean more left than right?
I don't invite him to come watch my comedy, basically, because I know he'll get offended.
You
Who
deny
knows
your
else?
father a chance to see you do your art?
I mean, yeah, he'll see it at some point, but he hasn't yet. Uh,
Wow, that felt like Antariksh just was like all of a
I did.
sudden,
Yeah,
my
like Dilip
father's never
Kumar
come
and
to see
Amitabh
my
Bachchan
shows
and
before.
Shakti.
Yeah, there
There was
was
a
just
pathos. Yeah,
there was an
I wish we.
energy there which was kind
Yeah,
of
I was going to ask
no, no.
Rishi to play the relevant music. Then I realized he'll play that band baja crap again, and it won't work with the beautiful poignant moment we had here. Where it seems suspended the moment for a second,
Yeah.
and that true pathos second that we both picked up in your eyes. I'm so sorry to bring it up. I will never ask again. Fair enough. He's now playing
So
the
my
music later.
dad, there are
Huh.
some times we've had together, which
oh wow, somebody is playing music.
some good times, some bad.
This is the monologue
Hopefully,
with the music.
at some point, he'll come and watch a comedy show, and I
If
am
the
in.
show's not going anywhere, we get Aisha to come and
Yeah.
kill me.
Dad, thanks for the 5 cars. I really like them.
6! You lying
6.
bastard!
They were
6!
6. I hate that he sold one off, Dad. I don't like it.
Okay, so now
Oh,
there are
well.
5, just in the recent past. But let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen, 6 cars up to 2 weeks ago. Now 5, soon 6 again. It's just a matter of time. All right.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
701.
that's
Shall we take one more?
Yeah, absolutely. There are some basketball questions for Amit. This one
Take one.
is
Come on.
something
Poor
that we
chap.
never had
Let him
before.
answer one. Let him answer
Yeah.
a basketball question.
Poor
So
chap.
you and I
Oh,
can.
poor Amit.
I'll play with my
One
dog, and
basketball
you
question.
can talk to your
Yeah,
dad.
cool.
Go and hug him. Get that moment over with.
I'll be fast. I'll answer the question quickly.
Vespa asks, hello all, question for Amit. What is your take on list of top 15 NBA coaches of all time? Personally, I'm surprised with George Karl not making the list.
I have not seen this list, so I do not know the answer to this
Okay, just
question.
answer the second part because that this George.
Well, I
Karl,
mean, George Karl not making the list. I need to see who the other 15 coaches are. George Karl, I think,
no,
is
but
one of the all-time winningest coaches.
you wouldn't put him in the top
Uh,
15. I mean, top of your mind
so
immediately if I asked you.
no, I don't know. Well, the coaches are
Okay,
not.
he's got the list. He's got the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, the list
You can't put
is
it up.
Red Auerbach, Larry Brown,
Yeah, from Boston
Chuck,
Celtics.
okay,
Okay.
Chuck Daly or Chuck Daly. I don't know.
Yeah, Chuck Daly,
Red Holzman,
Red Holtzman. Okay.
Phil Jackson,
Okay.
and Casey Jones,
That we all know. Phil Jackson, we all know.
Sorry, who was the one
Casey,
after Phil Jackson?
Casey Jones.
and Casey
Casey Jones.
Jones.
I'd put George Karl over Casey Jones. So yeah,
Okay, then Steve
just right
Kerr.
there, Casey. Okay.
Should I stop or should I say more?
Yeah, I mean, like just right there, I would put George Karl over Casey Jones.
But these
Casey
numbers
Jones.
are always flummoxing. When you say top 10, top 5, top 20,
These
I mean,
are
it's a
all
really
like-
tough one because, later on you suddenly realize you missed out somebody or the other.
This is all. Listen, the reason why all of this top 10 players, top 15 coaches, all this stuff is fun. It's basically podcast content generation. That's what it is. Because now people will argue.
Yeah, and we're conditioned to have this argument always.
Yeah,
Who are your top? We've done it on the show so many times.
yeah,
We've argued about our top five, this, that, movies, etc., and all that. We should bring that back.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
very good
yeah.
psychological
We should bring
ploy.
that back. That was a
Yeah,
fun segment. Yeah.
we need to fill the show with some matter. That would be
Yes.
good. Yeah,
No, that was a
huh.
fun segment to do, right? Top three Beatles songs or
Yeah,
top
something,
three,
whatever.
whatever.
We
Yeah,
find a new top three or top five
yeah,
every week.
yeah.
Hi,
That was a fun segment to do. Yeah.
fans everywhere I go. Yeah, guys, thanks. बाद में please, I'm doing a live show. बाद में. Fans, I tell you, Silverie, how to deal with them, really. I'm the king of fighting with fans in the sense that I got into a fight with a cop, not a fight. In 2 days back, coming out of the office in Fountain, I'm walking and this guy's coming through the one way in a van. So I start telling somebody who's with me in English that look, as usual, police not following the rules, loud enough for them to hear. And the guy stops and says, "Cyrus," and he gives me a salute by name. Then I turn, the hypocrite that I am, into gushing, great, gracious man, like, kaise ho yaar, sab theek hai. Tried my little Marathi also, kaisala, and all that, and gone. And then the guy who was with me, was a dog guy, WSD guy, was like, he must be thinking, what a creep I am as a human being.
Yes.
He saw the righteousness turn into, yeah, absolute, like, oh, bro, you're the best. It's happened to me so many times, you have no idea. Yeah.
So it's interesting. That's interesting when you say that happened to you so many times. So what you're saying is
My
that
daughter can tell you in the Oval.
no, but so basically the people who are attracting your ire the most are your fans.
Those are the bastards. Yeah, there's
That's
something what goes
insane.
around comes around.
That's
That's funny.
incredible, man.
Last question.
Yeah.
Cyrus, last question. If you are walking on the road and you see a fan coming from the other side,
Like the stream people.
would you, if you saw a fan,
Uh.
would you stop and give
No,
him
no. So,
way,
okay,
or
so,
would you
listen,
go
listen.
past him?
When you're Shah Rukh Khan famous, there's no problem because you know they're staring at you. When you're me, you never know. Okay, so when they're looking at you, sometimes because Indians don't look with in their eyes, there's no love sometimes. They're just looking at you like they're trying to figure out who the hell you are. There's some recall. So I have to now make a judgment call. Are they looking at me thinking I'm a somebody, or they're looking at me because they have nothing to do and they're staring at you, which I hate and for which I fight with people since I was 10 years old. And then I always call it wrong.
No, I'm just asking if you will stop. If you will stop and let the fan go first, and then you will go, or you
No,
will
because,
do the shoulder bash.
without talking to the fan, Cyrus doesn't like the fan until he starts talking to him. So he's not stopping
Oh
for
yeah,
no fan.
he's not
And
stopping.
then there's the
No
other
fan.
part. Listen to other
Cool.
f
Fair
ups of
enough.
mine.
It's
The
true.
other f ups are where I think the guy is a fan and he's not. So that's even more embarrassing. But let me tell you what happened there. Okay, one of my worst
Jao,
stories.
jao.
I'm
I've never
standing.
given a fan. Yeah.
Under the bridge at Kem's Corner. Amit knows the area really. I mean, you grew up in Beach Candy, so just where you turn the car, this thing. So I was being fetched by Kunal or somebody. So you stand at that corner where the Chinese restaurant used to be and now isn't there anymore. So standing there, and somebody stares out of the car, while going past on the passenger side, and looks at me with eyes like that, staring really hard. So I put my hand up and like Julius Caesar, I gave the wave, that you gave. Hi. I said, what the hell? Okay, I'll say hi first because he's clearly staring at me. He turned around and said, "Fuck you," with a finger.
What?
And my wife and daughter started laughing so much. Yeah. Sajid Khan, I got that a lot. Don't worry. Ah, I'm immune. That's a terrible feeling, Silverie. After that happens, because you look like such a jerk. Why did you jump the gun? The guy didn't even say anything. He was just staring.
No, but
My
again,
life
like
dream is like,
that stronger reaction where like the finger is being flipped like that, right? He knows who you are. You just pissed him off because you're making fun of Jalalita or whatever, right? That he knows who you are.
I don't know why he did that, but yeah, maybe he thought I was being mean or because why are you waving to me? I don't know who you are. I don't know.
No,
This
no.
is Bombay.
Listen, for that stronger reaction, not on a wave, you don't get that stronger reaction. That stronger reaction comes only if you're somebody who's pissed. You piss somebody off in some way.
I get that kind of reaction
Yes.
sometimes. Don't worry, Amit.
Okay.
You're too nice. You and your NBA users are discussing top 15 coaches. The guy will kill himself. Don't worry about it. Yeah. In the meantime, I think Ruben came up with, what did he say? It's gone now. He
It's
said, "I'll
great.
drive my car really slow in front of."
Yeah.
Look at
My
these guys.
life. My
But
life's
that's
dream is
another
to
thing.
ride my bike real
I've
slow
discussed
in
this
front of
before.
Cyrus's
Early
car.
morning at 6, all the bikers
They
ride
do.
really slowly at
Yeah.
that point. They really ride slowly. And after that, they ride like complete, absolute bandits. So what happens is the light comes out and they change completely.
Basically solar powered motorcyclists. It's not about the
Man,
motorcycle, it's a motorcyclist. But
man, you guys.
so I'm going to office really early today, right? These days
Huh.
I leave home by like 8:30, quarter to 9. I'll be in office by 9:15. I never knew this because I've never traveled this early, I've never driven this early before. But all of our trash collection All of our road sweeping happens at 9 o'clock in the morning.
7:38 it
No,
starts. Yeah,
dude, they're all on at 9, and I'm just like, why are you?
our area 7:38.
So then they should
They're all
come
my
to.
friends. I know them all by first name through the pandemic.
Okay, they
Uh,
should come here first and then come then, or sorry, go there, go onto Nepean Road main roads first and then come to the smaller lanes. Now, instead, they're just obstructing traffic all the way to
they
office.
do obstruct traffic. There's monstrous vans sometimes pulling out the
Yeah,
dustbins. Don't start. Don't
yeah,
start. This whole country needs a full rehauling. All these civic things. There's no sense of civic consciousness. Don't block. Firstly,
yeah.
what about the digging? Why can't we just put all the guys who are digging, put them in the hole and bury them? And just, everybody.
So why is it that India and Bombay in India, right, is the one place where you first dig and then work? Why are you not digging and working simultaneously? The
Yeah.
Yeah,
entire
absolutely.
SV road has now been dug up for 3 years.
Yeah,
There is
absolutely.
no
Correct.
work happening
Yeah.
across my office.
They,
None.
they want to prolong it.
But the whole rug is,
Because I think PWD is where the money is. Just prolong it. More vendors involved, more money flowing in and out, and it makes more sense to just make it a
but
longer
I just
exercise.
I just like take a section, make that section, move to the next section. Why are you
Yeah.
blocking the
And
entire
use
damn
more
road?
hands on deck.
Exactly.
You can go faster. It's so
Yeah.
simple, simple maths. Why do you need
Like
2 years to do it? The people need jobs. I need a job. Silverie needs a job. We'll come and work, but
I,
ours
I
will be
I
the
mean,
first
it
one.
literally
just
in Powai itself. Sorry, just last thing. In Powai itself,
Yes.
around my house, there are 5 different areas that are being the road is half basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, where because there's some digging going on somewhere, and I'm like, dude, finish that first one, then
Yeah.
go to the other one. No, why are you already digging up all 5 and blocking all roads for 2 years?
Yeah, so I remember this happened in my
And
area.
some of them have been going on since the pandemic. Sorry,
So in
the entire
my
pandemic.
the 300 meters around my
The
house,
Malba Hill
right?
Road where you live. Ha
The,
bolo.
the 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 not Malabar Hill. It's called Dungasi Road. It's a road on in Malabar Hill.
Oh, your
It's
exact
not the
road. In the
yeah.
Malba Hill Road, there's a Dungasi Road, for those who don't know. Yeah.
Correct, right. So on over there at one point in time in a 3 month period, the same road, okay, the same fucking road was dug up by the telephone company, the electric company, the sewer company, and then the road renovation happened in a 3 month period. This All of this happened in a three
And
month
he
period.
lives in prime real estate in South Mumbai. So that's the story.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
yeah,
That's a lovely
correct.
story. And this is why we drink and heavily. Well, not anymore. All right, take one last one. Now we've got too serious suddenly, and now I'm feeling pain. But
Yes.
I want
Okay,
to go and beat
sure.
up people who are digging.
Vivek
Uh,
Vivek Yadav says heard recently digging makes a lot of money and opportunity for scams. So that's why
Yeah,
they
It
feel that.
does.
Mangalam explained it on the show. If you watch, Cyrus says Mangalam Malu, which was about a week back, Tuesday of
It
last
was
week, in
also in the
fact.
promo, which was
It was
repeated.
also in the promo with his face, not mine, but that's fine. Why be petty and pick, small things?
Yeah,
And what he said makes absolute sense. They just dig, and there's no tangible outcome of the digging ever. You don't really see, unlike say building a
exactly.
bridge. So they just seem to dig, and then you may think they're laying a pipe or water sewage or whatever, but God knows what the hell it is. They just dig, and then they disappear. And they dig again after some time. It's like that.
Uh,
We need answers.
it's
India has to be held accountable.
it
Also, we've
does.
heard that conspiracy theory, right? Where they say that they dig and do a bad job, hoping that the road will become bad in the next month or so, right? Or like 2 3 months, and then they'll have to they do all the repair work all over again. They get new contracts for the same thing.
So
That's the
that's
story.
actually been that's been a little mitigated, not completely, not thoroughly,
Okay.
but it's been
Okay.
mitigated a little bit because what's been introduced into tenders is that 3 year, free
Maximum
service,
limit. Yeah,
Okay.
basically for 3 years you need to repair. So it's no
yeah.
That's
longer
it.
just it's no longer just a one.
They've given them a time. They quantified it by time, but they've given them enough time to do the same. So in a way, they've mitigated it, but at the same time, they've opened the field and said,
No,
"Okay,
but
but
the
it's actually
the
okay."
the incentive for the road company now becomes to make a road as good as possible that'll last at least 3 years, right? As
Yeah,
opposed to a road which falls apart, so you get the contract again next year. Now you
Yes.
get the contract after 3 years.
and,
That's a little harder to calculate than like 3 months, right?
you know what you're saying? It's like giving the guy who loses the account again. That's literally it.
Yeah.
Because they don't do a good job, you go back to the same guy, do it again, one more time, and after 7 tries, his son takes over the business. Do it again. That's fabulous. We're all in the wrong business. Podcast. Can we get Joe Rogan? As someone who has worked in construction field, Silverie is right.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Jeffy Jacob has given you
Okay.
So
the
he was
the
part of
stamp
that.
of approval.
He was
Uh,
part of our bad roads, is what Jeffy just told us.
oh,
He's one of the part of the
okay.
reason, man.
He's
Yeah.
confessed. He's fessed up. All right,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Basically.
Okay, guys, I think it's time to bid adieu tomorrow. I
All
hope
right.
to get Deepika Padukone and company on. Let's see. I hope she takes my call. Yeah.
Let's see. I hope it is there.
Yeah.
I-
Yeah.
If not tomorrow, within the next couple of days, we'll
Oh,
try
it
and
may
make it
not
happen.
happen tomorrow. Oh,
It,
okay. All right.
we're trying to make it happen tomorrow. Do we have any news
Yeah.
yet?
Silverie, would you?
Antariksh,
No,
Vinay?
not from them. No. Still no
Okay.
news
All
from
right.
them.
So
It's,
yeah. So
yeah. It'll
You
come
don't
soon.
want to commit, Silverie?
Soon,
Fair
soon.
enough.
so
Very
it'll
soon.
come tomorrow. It'll come Monday, Tuesday. At some point, it'll come soon.
Okay. Fair enough. With that, the episode has come to an end. Please play the relevant music so people decide to take really heavy medication to get over it. Yeah. Bye, Rishi.
I gotta stop with this before we leave.
What?
Okay, I thought
The
it was
comment.
We don't need Kunal dressed up as.
I just thought that's the right place to end.
I think he's too old to play Prakash. Forget Deepika. Yeah.
Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter on Cyrus Says In, or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
Do you wonder why China does the things that it does? Or want to know how we could improve online privacy? Or perhaps you're thinking about how we can kickstart India's economy. If you'd like to search for the answers to such questions, check out All Things Policy, a daily public policy podcast that covers everything from employment figures to aircraft carriers. Tune in from Monday to Friday for new episodes and fresh takes.
You're the people pleaser, right? Or then desperately seeking the one? Oh wait, you're the one who doesn't think they're ever good enough. So much drama. And for what? Is it doing you any good? Listen to me. I'm Chetna, your favorite positive action coach. Yes, I'm the one who has been dropping all those truth bombs on every episode. And it's time you learn to say no to drama. That's also what my podcast is called. And a new episode is out every Monday and Wednesday on the IVM Podcast app, website, as well as all major podcasting platforms.